We are back.
I'm back.
It's been a while.
Too long.
We apologize.
I'm sorry.
See, the chemistry is just mad. You know you've missed us. You thought Blockchain Sensei was gone. Guess what? It's not. We're back, and we're better and badder than ever. So, what is the new way that we're going to be doing? We never left. We've just been in the trenches, like differently in the trenches. The alpha that I've got for you is crazy. So our aim is to deliver value to you in the highest quality form. So yeah, that's the aim. Bring you higher quality information in a higher quality format. So we've realized sometimes in life, frequency isn't the key. It's all about consistency and quality. And we've been consistent for how many years?
About 4 years.
About 4 years you've been seeing this logo. About 4 years you've seen us dive through some of the best earnings reports in the world, from the Coinbase earnings report, the Tesla earnings reports from World Economic Forum, reports from Goldman Sachs, you name it.
Yeah, we've been in the trenches in the depths of hell of crypto.
Yeah.
My pinned IG post on my personal IG is me giving a blockchain business lecture in November 2022, i.e. when Solana was like $7 to $10 and Bitcoin was 16K. And it was still a full uni room as well.
Crazy. And as you may or may not know, I've been working quite closely with Solana's Super Team UK. Accidentally kind of helped out starting the Solana Polish ecosystem as well there. So I am literally in the trenches on the ground floor level with these startups as they're building in the blockchain space. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, blockchain's dead. It's not even doing anything anymore. I don't know if you've seen the news and the stats, but the volume on the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF has been pumping.
Wasn't there more volume on stable coins last year than Visa and MasterCard?
Yep. So
in the trillions.
I think it's one of these ones where what's happened is all the big boys are making moves. Like I said, some of the VCs, some of the biggest players in the game that I've spoken to, like BlackRock, they're making moves. But retail are just thinking, oh, no, nothing's happening anymore. Like the space is dead. One of the funniest ones that I always see, and there's tons of memes about it, is NFTs are dead. Keep seeing this one. Ninja, what's your thoughts on that one before I give my 2 cents?
I think that right now there just isn't a mass inflow of money and attention in NFTs. However, if you step back and ask yourself, is digital ownership necessary in this world? In a world of hyper content creation and output, where the output of content will never decrease, the output of content, the output of music files, the output of pictures, the output of text, there will never be a decline.
And with AI.
And with AI. So now we're in mass uptrend. So there must be a technological infrastructure to prove ownership and monetize on these things. So inevitably, NFTs will recapture and resurface. Mm-hmm. I think the idea that people deny digital ownership is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what it is the type of NFT might be dead, but the underlying technology, I don't think is dead. I think the underlying technology, the ability to transfer digital assets with a swipe, is crazy. Like, I think, and we're slowly starting to see it, I think NFTs are going to make a tremendous comeback and have more value. My statement I'm going to put out there, the NFT volume by 2030, at some point, I believe will hit $100 billion and maybe even $1 trillion. Now, my reason for this is property. Simple as. It's just going to take a few jurisdictions to allow people to sell property as NFTs. And that is going to create a madness. Like, yeah, JPEGs, nobody cares about, right? But if you said to me, I could buy someone's property by just tapping my phone next to their phone and swiping.
No. It's transfer of ownership.
Exactly. Are you telling me there's not a need or demand or an interest in that? Of course there is. Of course there is. Right now, it just takes way too long to sell property, and people need the liquidity, but they can't get the liquidity because there's too much paperwork. It's too long.
There's too much people in between.
Yeah. So NFTs solve that problem. So for me, it's started in the art space. I think it will inevitably move over to the property space. So that's my thoughts and my 2 cents on that. The other conversation that I've been having the other day is memes. Your thoughts on memes?
You know what? In 2021, 2020, I was a fundamental guy. Yeah. I didn't involve myself too much into memes in the 2021 cycle. I never owned Shiba. I never owned Doge. I did make a few flips in the Binance Smart Chain. Most notably, Safe Moon, if everybody remembers that legendary one. That was one of the legendary new Binance Smart Chain ones. This cycle, I am ultra bullish on memes. I think that having a portfolio that is well calculated in even a majority hold stake in memes, I'm talking like 60-70%, if you want to be ultra high risk, not financial advice obviously, makes sense as long as the meme portfolio is extremely well calculated. I think I had to dig deep into myself, and I feel like a lot of crypto fundamentalists and people that are like blockchain evangelists, low key, try to deny this energy force. However, certain things cannot be denied, such as the fact that retail and institutions are tired of investing in projects that overpromise and underdeliver.
Yep.
And we're tired, and as retail investors and even smaller funds, they're tired of being the 10th buyer. They're tired of being at the bottom. Do you know what I mean? Of the chain of basically dumponomics. So I do believe meme coins as a concept now are where it's basically where I don't know if the majority of the market is going to go there, but a larger proportion than the last cycle. And let's remember the Dogecoin went to $85 billion last cycle out of a $3 trillion market cap. And Shiba went to about 50, I think.
Crazy.
So where Dogecoin was is where Solana is pretty much is now, around the $85 billion mark. So I do believe a basket of meme coins that are well calculated. I'm not talking about the ones that have just launched for 3 days. In fact, the best meme coins are the ones that where the communities have withstood the test of time from 2023. Especially things like I like Ponke a lot. I like Brett.
Like Bonk.
I like Bonk. I missed Dog Whip Hat. I missed that wave, unfortunately. Reza put me on that in October 2023. But I believe that meme coins are necessary because retail and smaller funds need the opportunity to invest in something that tokenomics wise is more of a fair launch. And at the end of the day, meme coins, they do what they say they do on the tin. Yeah. For the most part.
I want to hit on that. Like, I think what it is a lot of the games switched, right?
Yeah.
I think there was a load of projects, a loads of decks of like, oh yeah, I'm going to build out this, I'm going to build out this, I'm going to build out this layer 2, I'm going to build out this gaming project, I'm going to build out this. Loads of promises, loads of false promises, and no one delivered and no one made any revenue. Whereas memes, they're not promising you anything. They're not saying they're going to do anything. They're just saying,
but when they deliver, it's bullish.
Yeah.
When they do some crazy shit.
Yeah. And this is why it's mad, because they promise nothing but deliver. And I think that's just a good principle in life.
Yeah.
If you don't promise anybody anything and then you deliver, everyone's happy. But people's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's cool. I wasn't expecting you to have a clothing brand. I wasn't expecting you to give out money to charity. I wasn't expecting you to like do community events. And I think that's what's happening with these meme brands is scarily, they're actually delivering more value than the actual crypto projects that are actually meant to be doing something. And some of them are actually revenuing more than some of the bigger established Web3 projects. So it's a bit of an ironic one. And then I just want to quote again Harry Horsfall from Flight Free. I quote him every time on this. He said something to me that was quite profound and it's stuck with me ever since. He said that memes are just a social thermometer. They are a representation of the desperation of society. And I think that's so true.
Dude, have you ever watched the Pepe documentary Feels Good Man? It's nothing to do with crypto.
No.
It's a Matt Fury documentary.
Okay.
So it was basically describing the journey of Pepe from him launching the boys club, it being adopted. Do you remember 4chan? That forum place. And it was showing how Pepe means different things to different people and different countries during different time periods.
Oh, wow.
So unfortunately, Pepe at one point was actually an imagery for white supremacy.
Oh, wow.
And Matt felt really bad about that, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
He
Didn't intend it for that.
Didn't intend it for that. But then in China, Pepe, which is why I really like the meme called Peepee, like P-E-P-E-I. It's like the Chinese Pepe. And I didn't understand the narrative, first of all. But now I understand upon watching that documentary, because Pepe is a sign of hope for a lot of Hong Kong students.
Oh, wow.
So they would, you know how like the Hong Kong students have been protesting?
Yeah.
Like they would all have Pepes with them. And then Pepe was like the sign of hope.
Mad.
So it's crazy how Pepe can mean different things
to different people.
Not just Pepe, but imagery in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
what is the one sign to you may have a different meaning to someone else?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly. And like, I saw a really important clip of Murad. I'm sure everybody knows him. He's a new meme coin celebrity. And he said that in this bull run, he believes there will be a coin for almost every single trending intellectual property, idea, and word.
Wow.
So, for example, like let's take the word WAGMI, right? We all gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there is a WAGMI coin. I don't know if there is, right? I'm sure there is somewhere. Mm-hmm. But there's gonna be meme coins fighting for that. Mm-hmm. And one way I'm betting now with meme coins is that I'm thinking about what are the narratives and what are words. So, for example, I invested in something called Green, right? And there's a few projects called Green, but this is the one with the 5 million market cap. Mm-hmm. And this is out of all the coins that are called Green, this is the one where I bet that the word green, because it's crazy, because now my thought process is, rather than look for the meme coin, I think about the narrative, and then try to find a coin that fits that narrative with the most market cap and the most active community.
Yeah. Green makes sense because money is green, the market's green.
Yeah. And the whole thing is just, it's green.
So that would mean that someone's going to have a bull token and a bear token.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just look for the biggest community.
And in theory, it should work out as long as it doesn't rug and as long as the founders don't give up.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just the first mover advantage thing right now.
I don't know if we're going to keep this or delete this, but you had some experience of building a meme coin. Do you want to
Okay, cool. So we won't say what it's called. So myself and a couple homies did launch a meme coin. Mm-hmm. Won't shill it on the Tom blockchain. I can say that much. Mm-hmm. And we did it all for experience. We didn't promise anybody anything. There was no roadmap. We didn't dump on anyone. And we just let the open market do its thing. Mm-hmm. And that was a very, very interesting experience, because the meme coin infrastructures, especially Gaspol, they make it so they incentivize you.
Okay.
Like the second you upload your meme, they push you to 53,000 people in Telegram.
Wow. Okay.
And with only a little bit of marketing, we were like top 15 trending for at least 6 hours.
Wow.
And we saw some people lost money, obviously, but some people did make money.
Okay.
Because we never...
So it's about what you do in that first kind of couple of seconds.
I'll tell you this. The second we launched the Telegram, I've never seen so much inflow of people selling me their services.
Wow. Okay. What kind of services?
Tweeting, shilling, raiding.
Okay.
You know, people just promising you the world.
Yeah.
And then there was one standout, and what stood out about this individual person is that instead of selling me their service, they gave me a free sample. They gave me like 2 stickers. They said, "Look what I made."
Oh man!
And they're like, how much your services? They said $30 for 10 stickers, and I thought, it's only $3 a stick. That's amazing. You know what I mean? So some of the best things you can do when launching something is the connections and lessons that you learn. And as long as you don't scam anyone and you're not rugging anyone, like I said, we put money in the project and never took a penny out. So we let the free market do its thing.
Okay, interesting. So would you do it again?
Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. I would do it again, but I'd want more direction. I'd want to put more intention behind it. That was the learning curve.
So what would you say to anyone that's thinking about launching a meme? What's the golden takeaways that they should do and one thing they shouldn't do?
Okay, so golden takeaway is, if you are going to launch a meme, please don't lie on people and don't dump. I feel like the karmic retribution will catch up.
As it always does.
Yeah. And it's not a good way to make money. Well, I don't think it's an ethical way to make money if your intention is to launch and dump. Yeah. Other things that I would say is use all the free AI tools because we did 100% of the graphics through prompts.
Nice.
I thought that was amazing. And if you really want to take it seriously, make sure that you've got a good team that's ready to dedicate the days because we thought we were stealth launching. There was no stealth. Because you
Expand.
launch and the platform pushes you. So because it pushes you,
You can't be quiet about it.
you can't be quiet.
So you got to be ready to go all out bombardment the moment that they
The
launch,
moment
so
we
that you stay trending.
Yeah, because we thought that we could take it slow.
You can't.
How were we on trending? We were like, oh damn, people were joining the Telegram, people were buying it. We had I think we had maybe like 15 to 20,000 in volume, which is insane. Like that's real money in
crazy.
the real world. Like there were people making hundreds and there was people who lost, but at the end of the day it was a fair launch.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Interesting. I'm trying to think of interesting things that I've done and learned. I think what's happening in the world is that the understanding of time is being compressed. I think because there's so much social media and we're taking in so much information, people's ability to comprehend time and what happens in a 5-year window, a 10-year window, people just don't think like that. Because they're seeing so much information in little 6-second flashes, they then can't actually mentally think 5 years ahead.
Do you know what's crazy? I've programmed myself to. I probably suffer from the opposite. I probably suffer from the opposite, where like I'm so future thinking that sometimes loads of things in the present get messed up because I'm always thinking about the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking of the next 3 years.
No, I think it's becoming a bit of an actual psychological almost disease where people are super short term. But I think that also comes from fear, which is something I wanted to bring up on the screen and kind of share. I wanted to share my insights and thoughts on the current UK financial system and why it's in the situation it is. Because I don't think anyone's ever drawn it out for people, so they don't understand what's going on in the world, and they're just angry. So this is the UK, right? What the problem is with the UK is the UK used to have monies. Yeah? What they decided to do is to put this monies in these things, in houses. But then what ends up happening is to get this money out, it's slow or it doesn't really happen. So what ends up happening is there was this time called COVID. Do anyone remember this time? Yeah. So what ended up happening is government gave Peter
Too much free money.
a loan. Yeah? So let's say Peter took out a 20k loan. Housing loan. Yeah? This had 0% interest. So he was good. Yeah? He just got 20k. Then what ended up happening is this thing called inflation came in. And it meant that the price of things went up. So this 20k could only buy, let's call it 18k worth of stuff. Yeah? But he's still got to pay back 20k. Peter owes 20k. So he's a bit stuck, right? Because now he's paying back more than what he actually should be getting.
Wait, you know 0% interest?
Yeah, because of inflation. Because inflation was 10%. But then guess what happens? there's this thing called interest. So the interest rates go up. So that means, let's just say 5% the interest rates go up on, right? That means now everyone with a house,
Because it's not a fixed term interest rate, is it?
everyone with a big building, so everyone that's got a house and a building, what's happened? Their mortgage, because they've basically got a loan, excuse my spelling, has now gone up. So that's now more pressure. So if you're a business, the money that you had, let's say you was making 100K, now some of that needs to pay this off and needs to pay your loan off. So even though you're making more money, so let's say, for example, you were making 80K in 2019 and you're now making in 2024 100K, you've actually got less money. And then what ends up happening is it gets bigger and worse because these buildings, right, they're causing people to not have as much money. So then guess what they start doing? They start cutting corners to lower costs, to make profit. And one of the things that they'll do is cut staff. But what have the staff got to pay? Poor people like Peter. He's still got to pay his mortgage. So his mortgage has gone up, but his company are trying to cut him. And then, what else are his company trying to do? One of the biggest problems in the UK is this thing called productivity. The UK, out of all the G8 companies, everyone else's productivity goes like this, right? Our productivity has gone like this. So this is the UK. And this is the G8. So that puts you in a bit of a situation where it's like, okay, if our productivity is going down, what do we do? Because I'm cutting staff, but the staff that I've got aren't actually producing. So, and I've got debts that I need to pay because my commercial mortgage is going up and my personal mortgage is going up. I need to make more money, but my staff aren't being productive. So what can you do? You have to use foreigners. So what ends up happening is the government says, okay, bring in the foreigners because they work cheaper.
And harder.
They work longer. Because I'll give you an example. Delivery, hospitals, cleaners, farm workers. Oh. All of these essential jobs that you need to run a country, who's doing them?
Foreigners.
Foreigners. But then, what do the UK people want? Get rid of the foreigners.
Oh my god.
And now, what's starting to happen? The foreigners,
They're taking over.
no, they're not taking over.
What are we doing?
The foreigners and the startups and foreigners
Are we leaving?
leave.
Adios.
And when the foreigners and the startups leave,
The productivity and the innovation goes down.
what does that mean for the businesses? Less money. And the cycle gets worse and worse and worse. And then guess what? To improve the productivity, there's one solution. But these jobs that they're giving to AI and that they're outsourcing, where are they outsourcing them to? Overseas. When these companies are being in these AI companies and the government and the wealthy invest into AI, where do they do it? Overseas. So does any of that money come into the UK?
It sounds like it's going out of the UK.
It's all going out of the UK. So the biggest problem is things are costing more money. There's higher interest rates. There's higher bills, but there's nothing making more money come into the UK. Period. So the UK is in this situation whereby it actually can't improve. And the other reason for this is because in the UK, did you know that 40% of the GDP comes from London alone?
Nah.
Wow.
So outside of London, you'd think that cities are pretty broke. Our city's broke. Yeah. In fact, they're actually going bankrupt. Like a city called Birmingham.
Yeah.
So what's ended up happening is they're building things, and because the government's got no money, because the government's biggest thing to pay, government's debt, is bigger than military. It's more than military. It's the second highest spend for the government. So how do they improve education? They can't. How do they improve transport?
Well, public transport's owned by the private sector.
Yeah, but it gets government contracts. So it can't improve. So that's where HS2 got scrapped. So the money went to it and then it got scrapped. So where's the money gone?
Got pocketed.
Got pocketed. But has the infrastructure improved?
No.
No.
Still got better.
And now you're getting rid of all the foreigners. So who's going to be in the hospitals? And are you going to improve the infrastructure of the hospitals? No. So the hospitals.
That's why our hospitals are so shit.
Get worse. And they have no foreigners. So UK is in a very, very dire situation that nobody's really writing it out for people that if you get rid of the foreigners in this country, you are finished. Like, done. KO. Game over. Because you need the foreigners to give you that base layer of work. Because nobody's doing those jobs. Nobody wants to do those jobs. Because the UK was so spoiled that even though, as a dustbin man, even though Peter before could be a dustbin man and earn 50k to 70k, out of pride, he won't do it. He'd work in the call center. And he'd get 25k. And then, even if he was to get that 70k, would he invest?
Probably not.
Nope. What he would do is he'd put it into a pension.
Which doesn't even beat inflation.
And it doesn't beat inflation. And guess where most of the pension money gets invested?
The FTSE 100.
Nope.
No, not the FTSE.
Gets invested into the SPY.
Oh, the SPX.
Overseas.
Oh, man.
So all these people, all they're doing is making Americans richer. So the situation can't actually improve. And this is the basic maths and financial literacy that nobody is talking about and nobody wants to discuss. Because how do you make this situation better? Once you draw it all out like that,
Yeah, this is awesome.
how do you fix this problem?
You need a whole new government. You need a complete reform.
I think the only way you change it is you have to lower taxes. That's the answer. You have to do something dumb like lower taxes to like 5% for the super rich.
We're not going to say.
Because otherwise, then they all start leaving as well. Because all your super wealthy, they're going to Dubai. So you're super wealthy. You're going to Dubai. You're going to Singapore. So what's ending up happening is they're buying assets here. Let's call this super wealthy guy Alan. He spends money on a house. He spends money on a building. Yeah. But he lives in Dubai. And he gets money from this. And he gets hella money from this. And this all comes to him. Whilst he's in Dubai, pays less tax. But all the more, makes it more expensive for who? Poor Tom. So the normal everyday person is angry at the foreigners. But that's not who they should be angry at. They should be angry at the rich people in this country because the money that is needed to go back into the infrastructure is not going there and they don't care and then they're just going abroad and then investing in everything outside of the UK. So the only way to fix it is to lower the taxes. Solution: low tax. But there's a new budget coming out soon, so we're going to see what's going to happen. If that budget, the capital gains tax, is higher, it's going to push people out even further. And if it pushes people out even further, I think we might go into an even greater recession.
I don't think you're better.
But this one, I don't know how we get out of. Because where is the innovation going to come from? Where is the startups going to come from if they're not going to stay here because the capital gains is high? Because the biggest company that needs to IPO here is Revolut, Canva,
I can't believe Revolut's a UK company.
and Stripe.
Canva's from the UK as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
If these three companies IPO in the USA,
That's the best UK. That's the best UK modern company.
gone.
Yeah.
All that money.
Not coming to the UK. You know what? The owner of Revolut, I saw a little interview, and he said
That's
that
nice.
when he first started, was it Revolut or Monzo? I can't remember which founder, but I saw a clip from England. Is Monzo British?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's a Russian guy, but it's a British company.
Yeah, it was either Monzo or Revolut, and he said that when he wanted to start a bank, everyone in the UK was really pessimistic. But then we spoke to his American friends who were like, "Yeah, let me introduce you to this person and this person." You know what I mean?
Make it possible. It's all possible. Yeah, the Americans believe anything is possible. Like the UK, it's just you're thinking too big. That's the problem.
We need a cultural change. It starts with the mindset and culture of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And the general consensus is most people in the UK are not proud anymore. The national pride is gone in the past 5 years.
It's the downfall of the country. Like I just COVID did that 100%. Like it just
confirmed it.
It confirmed it and it demoralized everybody. And it was the one time they needed to put the money into the infrastructure and into the NHS, most importantly. The NHS was screaming, oh my God, we're under so much pressure. We've never been under this much pressure in our lives. We need money to pay the nurses more, to pay the doctors more, to get new equipment, to get new hospital beds, to build new hospitals. But we gave all the money to Ukraine. So all that money went to Ukraine that could have gone to sorting out the NHS, which would have at least made people a little bit more like, well, everything's shit, but at least we've got incredible healthcare and we've got loads of new hospitals. If anything happens to me, at least I've got good healthcare. Whereas now,
You don't even have that confidence.
you don't even have that confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence of why most people came to the UK is the healthcare,
Yeah.
and that's why most people stay. Now they're like,
The healthcare is really bad.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
So they're just like, why am I
Do you know what it is?
staying?
When a government provides really shit public services that are paid by people's taxes, the taxpayer then holds a larger resentment to even paying tax in the first place.
Yep.
Because they're not feeling like the money is being spent well.
And that's worse when it happens to the uber wealthy. If the uber wealthy don't feel like the government's spending their money where they want the money spent, they're going to go.
They're gonna go somewhere else.
It's just a thing like where we've got so much pride in this country that we're like, it's like bad to say that you make mistakes, but mistakes are the only way you can move forward. You can't move forward without failure. Failure is the best thing in the world because you learn from it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And if you fail and you just communicate your failures to other people, you're actually helping people rather than going, yeah, I'm amazing, I'm great. Yeah, this is how great I am. This is how great our education is. Yeah, but where'd you go wrong? Oh, we don't really go wrong. We don't ever have really any problems. What? So
I think the culture with a lot of foreign countries like in Africa and Asia, the Far East, the Middle East, is that they're trying to be the best by constantly learning about everyone else, learning about their edge and being like, this is how our edge is better. The UK is just like, oh yeah, we have the edge. We're the United Kingdom and we're absolutely the best.
yeah, and it's like, nah, you're not.
You're objectively not the best.
Yeah.
And you can't even get better when you think that you're the best when you're not.
Yeah.
And you deluded, the UK is deluded in its greatness through historical context, but not contemporary objective context.
Yeah.
And it's not willing
Facts.
to look at things and look at the data set and be like, look, we're a bit fucked. Let's acknowledge we're fucked, so let's do something about it. And it's just this arrogance that everything's just gonna be okay.
Yeah. And it's like, no.
But it's falling.
And you can feel it. You can feel it and you can see it. And yeah. Awkward conversation, but horrible truths. And that is the end of the game.